sorry, I forgot this thing on my head. Hey, what's up, dude? It's Joshy J. I really want to go through what it means to have fun when you're going through a piece, and like some of the mindset ways that I make sure that I'm actually always having fun when I'm doing what I do. If I'm not having fun, I make sure it's top of my priority to make sure that I am. And a lot of the ways that I do this is I would change up my approach towards doing kind of the same thing. So if I'm doing one thing in one way and I feel like I'm not enjoying it as much, I still want to do the same thing, except I would kind of change up the way that I do it just to mix things up, just to keep the creative side flowing. And you find when you change up the way that you do different things, it kind of sparks a lot of creative interest. At least for myself, I know if I change something up, it keeps it fresh. And when you keep things fresh, you make sure that you're enjoying it, and it keeps it a lot more fun. And actually, if you keep that at the top of your priority, like that's the reason why you got into it in the first place. Like you got into art in the first place, or you got into whatever career it is that you do. You got into it because you enjoy it, because it's fun. That's literally the reason why you got into it. And if you keep that at the top of your priority list, it's gonna become a habit, because then enjoying what you do and having fun while you're doing what you do becomes a habit. And when it becomes a habit, you can't break it. And it's like a snowball type of effect. Like we all know this. We all have different habits, whether they're good or bad or whatever they might be. It's habits are mostly things that snowball. And when you know what the habits are, and you know that your habits are great, like you know having fun is a habit that you do every time you sit down, every activity that you do and situation that you find yourself in, when you find that you make sure that you're having fun in that situation, you can kind of let go and let it flow naturally. And you don't need to think too hard, because you know that habit of having fun is kind of something that you would do naturally anyway. And that's what a habit is. So that's one thing that I do when I'm having fun. Another thing that happens is like when you start approaching these things in habits, like you start approaching having fun in different ways, it starts to become a part of like everything in your life, like the way you do everything. It's like that innate childlike playfulness that comes out when you make sure that you're having fun doing it. You find it just starts to incorporate itself into all different avenues of your life. And when you're doing it that way, you can kind of put yourself in autopilot, and you're like, okay, I don't need to try so hard to have fun, because I'm just gonna do it anyway. And I don't need to compare myself. I don't need to try and be something else, because I'm just doing it just because I enjoy it. And when you do it in that way, ironically, you find the jobs come and find you without you going to look for them. Like there's a thing called like passive networking that just happens because you're doing what you do, because you're doing your thing. And the more conscious you become of the kind of spirals that happen, the more you can kind of catch them and be like, okay, I'm going to switch things up just so that I know that I'm having fun in this type of, while I'm doing this thing or while I'm doing this piece. And when you catch it quickly, you can switch it up to make sure that having fun is like number one on your priority. And if I'm not enjoying myself when I'm doing a piece, I almost know, well, firstly, it's going to take away from me. And secondly, the piece isn't going to turn out as great, and it's probably going to take away more than it's going to give to me. So I just kind of like stop immediately. And that's become a big thing, is if I'm not enjoying myself, I need to make sure that I have the ability to be able to just stop and be like, okay, this is actually taking away from me. This is not really adding anything anymore, and I need to just stop. And you need to be cool with that. You need to be cool to just be like, okay, I'm gonna stop immediately because I know it's taking away from me. And then you kind of go, okay, like what part of the piece can I focus on that I really enjoy? And that kind of starts the whole snowball effect of having fun. Having fun in a creative world is super essential in producing really cool art, and plus it's also super essential to just enjoy yourself while you're doing it.
So having fun has become a huge part of my process, and I always need to be checking in with myself if I'm having fun doing what I'm doing. I always want to be having fun. Ironically, it makes you come up with better ideas. So, I mean, I think we live in a very serious society, and everything is very scheduled and everything is very rigid and structured. And I think the coolest part about doing art as a career is it allows you to just play, and it requires you to play and to try new things and to just explore. I mean, if you revert back to your child state of exploration, it was a lot of fun. Like, you remember when you were a kid, you were just doing things because they were really just fun to do. And I always wanted to embrace that child state as long as possible, and now I'm seeing that it is absolutely essential to have fun in whatever job it is that you're doing. Having fun it's probably become the biggest priority on my in my development process. Is like, am I having fun? And I find like the more fun I'm having when I'm doing a piece, when I'm trying something new, I figure something out from some other artist that I found, that I've like studied. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I really want to try it. I want to like implement it in my own pieces. I find I'm getting more excited to get into it. And the pieces turn out really cool. They turn out a lot better than the very rigid, structured ones. Obviously, everyone has different workflows, but I'm just explaining how just ensuring that I'm having fun actually works for me. Plus, when you're having fun, you want to be able to come up, particularly in an art world, you really want to come up with ideas, like interesting, unique ideas. And you kind of only hit those very creative states and spaces through exploration, through just having fun. And the one thing to check, I mean, you are doing what you love when you would do it for fun. And when you are having fun while you're doing it, then you immediately know that whatever it is that you're doing as your job, you love to do it because you're just having fun doing it. And I always try and keep a playful side to it, which is why I think my art tends to be more organic and loose and less rigid. Everyone has a preference, obviously, and I love seeing the different, like one of my art friends has a completely different style to me, but he always knows he's having so much fun when he's doing it. And it's a completely different style, and it's just the one that's unique to me is the very organic, loose type of a style, and it's really fun. And I always want to ensure that I'm just enjoying myself while I'm building this career of mine. It is important to have goals, and I firmly believe in goals, but I'm a huge believer in fun as well. I'm a huge believer in loving every single step of the way, and I'm a huge believer in really just enjoying your notion of getting there, because you're going to find that you have all these goals. You will get there. Eventually you will get there. But you want to get there and still love everything on the way there. And if you're having fun on the way there, you often find that you'll just end up passing these goals that you have. You'll be like way past them. You'll be like, whoa, I just shot straight past that, and like it was super fun. It was so rad to be able to really enjoy my process while I was getting there. And I think it's something you only know that if you are enjoying it. And I think it's worth just making sure that the career path that you are doing, whatever it is that you are doing, you're just falling into the element of fun while you are doing it.
Cool, so what you guys were seeing in the background was one of the stages that I did for the mobile game Reset Earth. If you haven't already seen it, I'm gonna leave a link in the description, and please go play it and let me know what you guys think. It's the whole game is mainly focused on ozone awareness, and I was tasked to do all the environment designs as well as the character designs, and my team put together the whole game. And I'm recording this currently in December, so Merry Christmas. But yeah, this should be released closer to the game. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you like my artwork, feel free to share it with your friends or hit a subscribe. Otherwise, I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers.